Today, we are diving into something that's honestly transformed how I approach life: how to be an action taker. You know that feeling, having a great idea or goal, but then you just sit on it? Procrastination hits, doubts creep in, and then nothing happens. Being an action taker is not about being some fearless superhero. It's about kicking that inertia and actually doing the thing. Even if it's messy at first, it leads to more wins, less regret, and yeah, a way more fulfilling ride. To get us fired, let's start with a couple of real life stories straight from books that show what happens when people flip the switch from thinking to doing. These are not made up, they are the kind of tales that make you go, okay, I can do this too. First off, let's talk about Mel Robbins from her book, The 5 Second Rule. She shares her own raw story. A few years back, her life was falling apart, marriage on the rocks, finances in the tank, and she couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. She'd hit snooze, scroll her phone, and spiral into self pity. Then one night, watching a rocket launch on TV, she had this epiphany. Countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like a launch, and just move. The next morning, she tried it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet on the floor. The tiny action snowballed. She started tackling one thing after another, fixed her relationships, built her career, and now she's a best selling author and speaker. Robbins backed it with science. It's about interrupting overthinking before your brain talks you out of it. Her story hits home because we've all been that person stuck under the covers, right? Another one that always gets me is from James Clear's book Atomic Habits, where he tells the story of Victor Hugo, the guy who wrote Les Miserables. Back in the 1800s, Hugo was a chronic procrastinator, partying, dodging deadlines for his publisher. To force himself into action, he had his assistant lock away all his clothes except a shawl so he could not leave the house, naked and committed, literally. He cranked out The Hunchback of Notre Dame ahead of schedule. Clear uses this to illustrate environment design, setting up your word to make action the easy choice. It's hilarious and relatable. Imagine stripping down to get your taxes done, but it worked, turning Hugo into a legend. Dang, those stories give me chills because they show action taking is a muscle you can build. Psychology says our brain defaults to safety, but small hacks override that. Procrastination is just fear in disguise, and action crushes it. So, how do you become that person who just goes for it? Let's break it down into 5 relatable steps you can try right away. These are not complicated. They are stuff I've used and they work for everyday folks like us. First step: use the 5 second rule or something similar to beat hesitation. Like Mel Robbins says, when an idea hits, whether it's sending that email or hitting the gym, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then move. It short circuits your brain's excuses. I do this for cold showers. Without it, I'd bail every time. Try it on something small today. It will build your action habit. Second, break it down stupid small. Overwhelm kills action, so make the first step tiny. Want to start a side hustle? Don't plan the whole empire. Just spend 5 minutes brainstorming names. Clear calls these atomic habits, micro actions that compound. It seems like eating an eggplant, one bite, not an eggplant, an elephant, one bite at a time. Suddenly, you're making real progress without the paralysis. Third, design your environment for wins, like Hugo's naked strategy, minus the nudity, of course. Set up cues that force action. Put your running shoes by the door, delete distracting apps during work hours, or prep your workspace the night before. Psychology shows our surroundings shape behavior more than willpower. Make laziness harder than doing the thing. Fourth, embrace imperfect action. Done is better than perfect. Perfectionism is the enemy. Action takers know messy starts lead to momentum. Brené Brown, in the Gifts of Imperfection book, talks about this. Vulnerability is in trying beats sitting on the sidelines. Next time you think it's not ready, ship it anyway. You'll learn and iterate faster. Fifth, accountability and rewards to keep the fire going. Tell a friend your goal or join a group. External pressures external pressure turns maybe into done. Then reward yourself. Finish a task, grab a coffee. Dopamine from wins reinforces the habit. Track it in a journal. Seeking Seeing streaks motivates like crazy. Let me make this personal for a second. A while back, I was that guy with the big dreams but zero follow through. Ideas for videos collecting dust while I scrolled endlessly. Inspired by Robin's book, I started 5 4 3 2 1ing my way into filming, broke scripts into 10-minute chunks, cleared my desk of distractions, and shared progress with a buddy. At first, videos were rough, but action built confidence. And now, this channel is growing. If a regular dude like me can shift, you can totally can. To wrap it up, being an action taker boils down to quick countdowns, tiny steps, smart setups, imperfect starts, and accountability with rewards. It's not about massive willpower. It's about outsmarting your own excuses. Start with one step today. Maybe that countdown on a lingering tasks, what's something you've been putting off. Hit me in the comments. Let's cheer each other on. If this got you moving, smash that like button, subscribe for more real talk tips, and turn on that notification. Thanks for watching. You're already one action away from change. See you next time. And I also invite you to join my free email newsletter. Just visit kevinumali.com/free. See you there.